Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Lieder Nishmas im Miros Yusuf Mordechai. Wie sie heißt er?
Der meiletz.
Von wann?
Kyrios Yoel.
Geschmack. My day just got better.
Mine too.
Yours too. So how long do you do the daf?
Kedushin Daf Beis.
Kedushin Daf Beis. How'd you hear about it?
I think it was one of the podcasts. Probably Meaningful Now.
No, maybe the Hasidic one, the Yiddish. Yeah, what's the one in Yiddish? What's the latest, not latest talk?
I think it is latest.
Oh, gedank.
It's old time. Maybe.
Since Kedushin, wow.
Never missed a day.
Never missed a day. Okay, Givaldik. Listen, I have a surprise for you. But first I have to say, Hayoim shloishim yoim sheim arba Shevuos u'shnei yomim lo omer, bo omer. There's so I'm gonna skip. I wanted to do the sad email first, but look at this. This is from Kiryas Yoel. These guys all do the daf with us. You're not even in the picture.
There's 100 more.
Where? Where? Mizrachi's do. Who's that next to you? Your son. So Kiryas Yoel is representing. 3 guys from Kiryas Yoel. Look at this. And somebody just sent in this picture. I didn't even know where it came from. It's unbelievable. I heard that there's literally hundreds that do the daf, but only like 40 that let the Olam know about it.
More than 40, but...
Really? It's a lot. Okay, so Rabbi Isai, check this out. Yosef Chaim Cohen. Dear Belly, I've been going through a very difficult period in my life. Just 2 years ago, I was a mashpia running a kiruv of koil in an out-of-town community. A series of tragic events threw my life completely upside down, with the peak of them being the drowning of my 3-year-old son, Uriel. Ever since, I've had a very hard time getting back into learning and connecting to Hashem. I've tried different chavrusas, but I remained unmotivated. Just before Pesach, my brother-in-law, Shmuley Rosenberg, convinced me to join the Hebrew Shir, starting Makis, and I took upon myself to be Messiah in time for Uriel's first yard site on Tesva of Iyar, which is today. Been doing the daf since, continuing into Shevuos. I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity, as well as being mizaka thousands of Yidden to learn with a geschmack. I'm dedicating this share on the day of the yard site, Tesva of Iyar, in his memory. May we be zoicha to see the fulfillment of the nevuah concluding Makis, R'choivay seir yimalu yilodim v'yilodois misachkim b'r'choivay se'ah. As if Taylor wants to sing, we can sing. To be able to see the Yeshua through the darkness of Golus. Yosef Chaim Cohen. P.S. I'm sharing a picture of Uriel, which can be shared. Okay, Givaldik. He says at the end that there's another picture that he doesn't let me share, a tower of magnetiles that Uriel built the last day. They was Nifter. His mother framed it with the pasuk mentioned above. Okay, because it's very emotional for him to see. Should have a neshama. Because Baruch should give you a neshama and the whole mishpacha. This we saw yesterday. This hurts a little bit. Moshe Eli Ackerman, Simam Sechles Makis. P.S. I applied to yeshiva and was really disappointed when it was canceled. I was really looking forward. The Bacher that emailed last week about 24/6, Moshe Eli Ackerman. All right, next time we'll bump into each other, we'll schmooze, everything's min hashamayim. Zevi Weinberger. I've been around since Masechet Tainis, but when my son Avromi finished Masechet Makis, which wasn't easy, Erev Yontiv and Chol HaMoed, etc., meant so much to me. I received numerous emails like this that fathers had such. Actually, somebody sent me also. Somebody wrote in a paper, Jewish something, a whole this story where it gave him such nachas that his son, which wasn't even. So we made a see him, invited his classmates to see in the photo, as in this week's parasha, Lahazer Gdolim Al-Ktanim, when the parents lead by example, the kids copy, may Hashem give you koyach. Make sure everything in your life goes good, so you can continue your Avodas HaKodesh from your Talmud. Zevi Weinberger, I forgot to put the picture in here. This is very geschmack. Rabbi said we're really hoping that this picks up, and I'll tell you why. Here in R Yisroel, yesterday we had 9 places where we do a live viewing of the shir, and last night we found out there's a 10th place going to open. What day, Benny? Sunday in Tveria. So we have already 10. In America, we got to do the same thing. Check this out. This is a luxury van company, and they have all their guys, the drivers, doing the daf. This is, everybody's invited in Lakewood. This is in Lakewood. But she still has to bring the carbon, so it's called Mechusar Kippurim. She still told me until she brings that carbon. But a person who's a full yoim is not a full tummy. Even their vans, even the luxury vans, are a little different. Listen, this is a this. That's what makes them. That's what makes them. Dear official, nearly 19 years ago, my family made aliyah from Baltimore. You might remember my parents, David and Malka Blas. As a kid, I took part in nearly every one of your mitzvah motivators with success, and most of them. When I saw you post on Facebook from Jeremy Steinman with a link to get your head in Sanhedrin, I wasn't going to sign up. I told my wife, there's no way that I'm making it past 60 daf. She told me to sign up anyways because I won't lose out. In any case, if I don't finish a project, then at least I'll have the schar of learning, and if I do manage to finish, then I'll have the schar and the money. When I reached my 100th daf, I cried. I couldn't believe that I managed to make it this far without missing a day. My life has changed for the better because of this and because of you. Daf Yomi shir has become the brightest part of my day. That being said, while doing a cheshbon hanefesh, when filling out the form, I realized that there were dapim that I listened to on 1.5 speed, and I've therefore disqualified myself for the incentive. And you know what? I don't care that I'm not getting the money. I was hoping to get some cash, and I walked out with a new life. Thank you, official, and thank you, Rebelli. Moshe, you did your blast, who's now the guy running all these retention programs. Huh? It's a good one, yeah. What? I walked in to get the cash. Let's do it again then. I was hoping to get some cash, and I walked out with a new life. Good luck. Masechet sponsors anonymous Hatzlacha bruchnius uvagashmius. Monthly sponsors Nishmas Zechariah ben Moshe Nishmas bas Yosef. Parnasa Birevach for Baruch Tzvi Nissim ben Shoshana Leah. Jeff's Gourmet, Los Angeles. Moshe Aron Miriam Landy for the Hatzlacha of all our children. ActualEyes in honor of David, Duvie, Merkin of Eastern Union, all the Silver Spring daffers. Weekly sponsors anonymous. Thank you, MDY, for the highlighted Gemara. Never give up and always keep going forward. I think he means the highlight in the actual. Well, there's an individual who stays up every single night in America to 3, 4 in the morning, putting the words. It's a whole malacha that he does every single day. Mamish l'shma. Doesn't want anybody to know. I don't think I know who he is even. Maybe I know him, but I don't know that he does it. I never put the face, and he does it every day, hours. So you have to thank him. So again, anonymous, thank you MDY for the highlighted Gemara. Whoever that, it's not MDY, it's him. Never give up and always keep going forward. I guess he's part of MDY, one of the many that help MDY. Daily sponsors, Mordechai Sapoznick, Nishmas, my great-grandfather, Horav Yitzchok, Ben, R Yisroel Gershon Blumenreich, Zechariah, may his neshama have an aliyah, maybe my brother, Yitzi, who carries his name, the entire mishpach and all of Klal Yisroel. It's really Bernstein, Leah Nishmas, Moshe Doiv, Ben, Avram Yitzchok, Olav Shalom. Somebody came over to me and said that he's the son of Sruli Bernstein, but I don't know if it's. I didn't have a chance to speak to him because I was davening. It was by Meir. Meir started and came over to me. He said his father sent him to say hello. So if yes, Shalom Aleichem. Yosef Chaim Cohen, Lili Nishmas Uriel ben Yosef Chaim Zechron Levrach, whose yard side is today. That's that kid. Now Hichap. Uriel ben Yosef Chaim, the 3-year-old. Jackie and Marlene, super Corpus Christi, Texas. Corpus Christi. They were at the Shabbaton? Yeah. Corpus Christi, Texas. Correct. Cutler family, Givaldi. I have to say, this is a shtickle. It has a little bit, Kiryas Yoel, Corpus Christi, Texas. Geschmack. No, for me, the Hana. We reached all the way. I didn't even know about this name before.
Their sister cities?
Cutler family of Englewood and Tenafly, New Jersey. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
For the Baruch Hashem successful release of Aiden Alexander Mamish. Oh, it's a big thing. Big simcha for Klal Yisroel. All the Mater Asurim. I said it differently today. It hit me like, Mater Asurim. Shachar David for the yard side of his mother Julie David Yehuda's Fruma Bas Yechiel. MDY Kids monthly innovations Chus for Fishel Elchanan Akiva Rivki and Mrs. Stefansky. I'm seeing lately. It went a long time. We're doing the MDY Kids, and I spoke about it. So Rebbe came over to me and said that he saw a difference in two of the kids in the cheder. And he went over there and said, "What's going on?" And I see like he concentrated. He said, "No, we do MDY Kids." Both of them told him that. I didn't tell you this. I didn't mention this in Shir yet. I did. I went to Yosef Biliak's bar mitzvah, and there was a Rebbe that was going there also, and he said, "I got to tell you." I said, "So put it in the email." He said, "I don't know, it might insult the kids." I said, "No, it'd be a chizuk." So it's like, wow, because I'm not so into it. And then I hear another guy saying that this kid did better, and it helps kids also. It helps. Turning the daf, not yet. Givaldik. Rabbi Isai, we're holding Daf Yomi base. What? I did? Heart of the month. Before Shleimo for Yohanatan, Eitan, Ben Bashev Brocha. How can we forget that? For Schus Rebellion and the whole MDY staff to continue to make Torah so enjoyable of so many. In honor of Yossi Klein and Mark Ashkenazi for all the work they do. Dark the Sephardi. He liked it. He said he liked it. He's telling people to watch it. I never thought about it before. Maybe that's why. It's like, what does it rhyme with? Dark and dark. Not dark. The Sephardi. Dark Sephardi. Okay, fine.
Morty Rasby. Ashkenazi. That's what Rasby.
The Omar Rav Idi Barovin. We're just going to go back three lines, even though 5 lines. We're holding already Daf Yud Beis Amud Aleph. But let's just go back so we understand what's going on. It's very simple. It's going to be charts now, not so much the words. Where? Oh, okay, fine. So let's just go 3 lines before that. The Omar Rav Idi Barovin, Omar Rav Amram, Omar Rav Yochanan. So this is the Rav Yochanan that started the whole sugya. Every year you have 4 extra tamids that you're not going to use. Why? Because in order to bring a carbon tamid, we bring 2 of them every day. It's a keves echad asaba boiker. We put 6 aside, and we check them out for 4 days, and we watch them to see mum, not mum, and then we only take 2 out of the 6. So the last day of the year, when we have 6 and we only use 2, you have 4 that are carbon tamid. What is a carbon tamid? What kind of carbon is a carbon tamid? It's an ayla. So now you have 4 aylas. What do you do with these aylas? So Rabbi Yochanan said that you could redeem them. And he brings Reb Shimon that says you can't. So how do you redeem? Let's just do one more time. The aylas are red. They're kadosh. He has blue-green money, which is completely chulin. He takes out of his own pocket money. And then he does a switcheroo. He buys, so to speak, these karbanas from the Beis Hamikdash. Oh, what happened? This didn't work. Oh, it did work. The money becomes red. The kedusha goes out of the animal, out of the 4 animals, and goes into the money. And now the money becomes kaddish. He transfers the kedusha from the animal to the money. And that, Rav Chizah says, how's it possible? How can you take the kedusha off? It's kedusha saguf. Then he takes that money and he puts it in the old pile of the money of the Beis Hamikdash where it belongs. It's Kaddish money. What is the problem, Rabbi Isai? Again, just to mention the problem again, you can't just bring these 4 karbanos onto the Mizbeach because they were purchased with last year's money. So what we're trying to do is purchase them with this year's money. So first, we take them out of the Kedusha completely by transferring the Kedusha into money. Once they're not Kaddish anymore, now the Gizber goes and takes money from the Beis HaMikdash. He goes to the Trumas HaLishka, takes money from the Beis HaMikdash, and repurchases those chulin animals, and now finally he makes them kaddish. So now we have 4 animals that were purchased with the new money of the Beis Hamikdash. Tmidim shelo yihutzichu latzibur l'divri Reb Shimon ein nivdim tmimim. Reb Shimon says no way, it doesn't work. So if it doesn't work, what do you do with these 4 animals? Anybody have an idea? Kippah, you kill them. Huh? Yirachi stove. You let them. You let it graze until. And then what? And then you paid it. Okay? I have a third option. There's a third option. We might have mentioned it even. Shalom Aleichem. I know you.
I was in the front row, so I'm going to look different
When?
from a different angle.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And I was waiting for you to come that night.
But I kept up.
You did keep up. That night that I thought you said you're going to come. I was like, wow, what a night it was. I don't remember what happened. But the was singing. It was the whole thing. Okay. It doesn't matter. You're here today. Gewaldig. I remember where you are. You like started Bet Shemesh or something. You're like the big. So anyway. So it's all your fault. We're here now today because of you. Says Reb Aryeh, Ketzam Mizbeach. That's what the Gemara is going to say. You bring it onto the Mizbeach as dessert when there's a downtime on the Mizbeach. You give it, you put it on the Mizbeach. Okay. So now what you said, but it's a good idea, you kill it. He says, Yirat Yosef, Ketzam Mizbeach. So now, Rabbanon the Pli Alei de Reb Shimon Man Ninu. Who are these Rabbanon who Rabbi Yochanan claims to say that you could redeem it? Who is Rabbanon that you could redeem it? Rabbi say, let's do the sugya about peh. Very geschmack. Who is the Rabbanon that said, so it's a little bit of a chazara. Who's the Rabbanon that said you could redeem it? Rabbanon of Ketairis. That what? You have Ketairis left over at the end of the year. They hold, Rabbanon hold, that you can take the Ketairis and transfer it to money. And therefore you can do the same thing with animals. What's the difference between Ketairis and animals? Says the Gemara, no. Ketairis is different because there's no other option. There's no yirachi stove. What are you going to put it to let it graze and befall a mum, and then it has a mum, and then now, I can redeem it? There's no mum in Ketairis. You can't do it. You can't do it. So therefore you could redeem it. Meichadesa, you could take a perfectly healthy animal and redeem it. Okay, so the Rabbanon of Para. Para Aduma, we learned that you could redeem it. You can redeem a Para Aduma in any situation. No, maybe it's because Domei Yikarim. So then the Gemara says, and this is a little tricky, the Rabbanon of Amrulai. What's the Rabbanon of Amrulai? In the Mishnah, Daf Beis Amud Beis, Rabbanon tell Reb Shimon, I don't understand. If each animal does something else, yeah? Let's talk about these animals for a second. Rish Chodesh is mechaper for tar shachal tami. The Yontiv is mechaper for somebody that has zero recollection of this tumah. Not in the beginning, not then. Zero conscious of it. And the chitzoin is that there is a yediyah at the end, but no yediyah in the beginning. So according to you, they ask him, how could you use one for the other? Let's say you have a leftover Rish Chodesh, he ran away, he came back. You're allowed to use a Rish Chodesh on Yom Kippur. And Yom Kippur on Rish Chodesh. And they're interchangeable. If you hold Lev Bezdin Masna Aleim, that's the concept we learned yesterday, that Bezdin makes a special condition in each one, and I can use it whatever I want to use it for, anytime I want to use it, Gevaldik. But you don't hold of Lev Bezdin Masna Aleim, so how could you transfer back and forth? So that's the Rabbanon who hold Lev Bezdin here. Let's go back here. Here we're holding. They hold Lev Bezdin Masna Aleim, meaning the Bezdin makes a Tanai in a condition when they dedicate this animal to the Tamid, that they could take it out of the Tamid and make it into a oila, into a regular oila. Not a Tamid oila, into a regular oila. So no, says the Gemara, we're just doing this one time so that when we do it later it's even easier. Maybe they meant something else. They were asking Reb Shimon, how do you say you could interchange every carbon? A Yom Kippur with a Rish Chodesh and a Rish Chodesh with Sukkos and a Sukkos with the Rish Chodesh. We hold like Reb Meir, who holds that they all do the same thing. They all come for the same idea, for Tumas Mikdash B'Kadashav. So there's no difference. I have an awareness in the beginning, I have an awareness at the end, I don't have awareness at all. It's the same idea. The same category. But you, Reb Shimon, who argue on Reb Meir, how could you say that they're all interchangeable? But anyway, we still don't have a source that says Lev Bezin Masna Aleim. We're looking for something similar to Lev Bezin Masna Aleim. The reason why Rabbanon say that you could take a tamid, a carbon tamid, and transfer the money into cash, transfer the kedusha into cash, is because Lev Bezin Masna Aleim. There's a special condition from Bezdin over here, special condition from Bezdin that says that I could take this tamid when I don't need it at the end of the year and transfer the kedusha into cash. It's Lev Bezin Masna Aleim. That's the chachamim perhaps. So now let's see it inside. And the Gemara says that also doesn't work. And maybe we have to come on that he doesn't have a source at all. His source is his Rebbe. He got to be Messiah. That's it. And that's enough. That's more than enough. So, Rabbanan de Bli Alei de Rabbi Shimon Manino, the last line on Yud Aleph Amud Beis. Inem Rabbanan de Ktoires. So let's go back here. We'll just do it here. If you want to tell me it's the Rabbanan that say that you could transfer the kedusha out of the Ktoires into money. Shani Ktoires de la Barrio. Ktoires doesn't have the ability to get a mum, so check out this beautiful depiction that Yoshi did. You have to look at it. It has a lot of detail. Rabbi, here we go. 30 years, they put him out to graze, right? So the guy on the left just sat there, ate, he blew up. 30 years already, I've been trying to get some sort of small mum without any luck. Same here. We got to ask those young folks what their secret is. And here's the secret. They do like hardcore sports. And then this guy gets scared. This mamish reminds me of Vail, Colorado. Every 5 minutes, there's a guy coming down on a stretcher. His arm is broken, his hip is broken. So that you go skiing, you do something like that, you jump out of a plane. And look at these guys, they're mamish old, they have white beards. There's a lot of detail here. This guy, I don't know what he's doing. Bungee jumping. No, this is MMA over here. There's a lot of stuff that you can do to befall a mum. Grazing is not so good because then you end up like this guy over here.
That alone is a mum.
Now, what happens when you have a mum? You can be part of here. He has another picture. Here they are. They're all standing in line over here. Pidyon. Pidyon and a cola, he says. It's like, okay. He is. I still remember me and Avi discussing, should we hire Yoshi full time? And Avi's like, but what is he going to do the whole day? Like, after he does the drawing, what is he going to do the whole day? And like, I think we can figure out, what about the sugis that he can't draw in? Remember that conversation? Yeah. Yeah, we got to think big. Ella, which reminds me, somebody in America got to step up and make another live share. There's one in Lakewood in a van. We got to go again. No, so there's two in Lakewood. There's Jackson and Lakewood. But MS, we got a copycat. If R Yisroel every day, it's not live. The problem is the live.
It's live enough. In person
thing. You don't need live. You need to just get together as a chabura. Here, in Kiryas Yoel.
Gotta get a van first.
You know what? Exactly. A plane. You guys got to take it up. Take a cruise, something. Do it. Be original. Lakewood is Lakewood. You got to take a 747 that's no longer in service, and you outfit it for a shear. It'll be the one of a kind. The first 747. Yeah. Listen, Air Force One now. They have nothing to do with it. You take the old Air Force One. You know how many people you're going to draw to this year? You guys can pull it off. There's room over there in Kiryas Yoel somewhere. Talk to Gemara. No, but seriously, you come, even when I'm not here. The Da'ilam comes, they eat breakfast. Hold on a second, this is for Torah. The Da'ilam comes, they get together, they schmooze a little bit before, they schmooze a little bit after. They're together, they make fun of the jokes. They're good, yes, good, but it's chabura, sitting in your room, on your phone, 1.5 speed. It's a different feel. Ella Rabbanan de Paro. So now we're going back to this. This is easy stuff. So maybe it's the Rabbanan who says that you could redeem a tamid for cash. The same Rabbanan that say you can do it with the paraduma. No, it's not a good raya. Dilma shani para de domer yakar, because it's so expensive. It cost $1 million plus. They had one in here in R Yisroel. They had one in America also. Where was it in America?
Outside Lakewood.
Outside Lakewood, they had one. And literally, I know that there's Hasidim that wanted to buy it for $1 million. So that's what they claim at least. No, not selling. So that's why they made a special condition that you could redeem it. Velo Rabbanan Amru Loi. Oh, so it's not that complicated. But what's the Rabbanan Amru Loi? The Rabbanan in the Mishnah tell Reb Shimon, how is it possible that you could take all three of the Seirim and interchange them? How could you use something that was designated for Rish Chodesh and it's completely different? It's tar. A guy that was tar who ate a carbon that was tamei. Remember the piece of meat hit the mouse, and that's the forgiveness for it. And then you're going to take that exact carbon without doing anything and use it on Yom Kippur, on the inside Mizbeach. What's the connection? What was their question? And this is what they said. They said, we hold like Rabbi Yehuda that says, Lev Bezim Masna Aleim, that you can make a condition before you designate any carbon. And therefore, you have the right to take a carbon and use it for whatever you want, but you don't hold like Rabbi Yehuda. That's the one. Oh, so those same Rabbanan in the Mishnah are also going to hold over here by a Talmud. I can take that carbon and do whatever I want with it, including transferring the Kedusha to money and then repurchasing it. That's why it makes sense. I could take one, the Rosh Chodesh, and use it on Yom Kippur. You don't hold Leiv Bezim Masna Aleim. You don't hold this T'nai. Why are you allowed to transfer and use one for the other? Sukkos on Pesach and Pesach on Yom Kippur. How does it work? Oh, so Gemara says, don't bring me a raya. Maybe it has nothing to do with the T'nai Bezdin, with Leiv Bezdin Masalim. Maybe it has to do with Reb Meir. So what? Do me Reb Meir. This is what Chacham told Reb Shimon. Interesting, it's a Lashon Yachid. Bishlam to us that we hold, that Reb Meir holds. All three come for the same exact thing. So yes, one has an awareness at the beginning. One has awareness, zero awareness. And one has tar shachal tamei. Fine. But they all do the same thing. They're all there to be mechaper for one aveira of tumas mikdash v'kadasha mishumach yikru. That's why I could interchange them. But you, Reb Shimon, they don't hold a Reb Meir. Because that was the question. Since the question has nothing to do with the T'nai Bezdin, has nothing to do with our sugya, we're moving on. So we have to say, we tried three sources, we couldn't find it. He got it b'Mesaira. It's a minig avisayim b'Yadaini. It's a minig. It's a Mesaira and finished. The Duvie Reb Shimon, a nivdim. The Duvie Chacham nivdim. This is what he got from his Rebbe. Who got it from his Rebbe, all the way to Reb Shimon and Chachamim. That the Chacham hold you can be paida, you can redeem, and Reb Shimon says not. Now, all the Reb Shimon the Leslie love bez masna leyen maya of luhu. According to Reb Shimon, that it says you cannot redeem it. So now you have 4 tamid oilas, oilas tamid. What are you going to do with it? Maya of luhu. Or maybe it's going to be Yochanan. Mikaitzim b'mis mizbeach. Kaitz mizbeach is a lashon of dessert. Sometimes the mizbeach needs dessert. There's nothing going on, Baruch Hashem. Nobody was Mechal Shabbos by mistake. Nobody's bringing a carbon. All the Yoldois, they already brought the carbon in the morning. Now, between 3 and 4 in the afternoon, it's dead. So what do? They go to the pen and they pull out a carbon that somebody, the money was donated there for this purpose. You bring an aliyah. It's like a kachim sugya, you know? Reminds me a lot of kachim. So, Reb Shimon says that when you have a leftover chatos, you cannot use the money for the mizbeach. Now, as we're going to see, midaraisa, you have a leftover chatos, you could. Now, wait a minute. Don't be confused. The famous chamish chatois mesos. The chatos is the most sensitive thing, and we remember, vatimna. This is a 5 chatas that must die, including number 3 and 4 on the list, that if the owner died before he brought his chatas, the chatas must be put in a room and let to die. And chatashin is kapru b'aleh. If the chatas ran away, he was a chaver man, jumped over the fence, ran away, and then the guy has to bring a chatas, what he's going to do? So he purchased another one and brought it to the mizbeach, and then the guy shows up, like those cats that come back after, 2 years and 7,000 miles away, they're able to walk back somehow. Look it up. Cat walked literally 1,000 miles to get back to his owner. They have some inner GPS. Shalom Aleichem, here he is. Can't get rid of him. My friend had squirrels in Brooklyn. He trapped them all, released them in a park. Like he went, just like 15 blocks away. The next night, they were all back. Like he had Simon, they're all back. They come back, they know how to get back. Shalom Yisrael. Fine. So then he decided no more trapping. Shechting is the eitzah. Okay, that's a different story. So what are we talking about over here? How can you take a chatas and put it on the mizbeach? We're talking about a chatas of a tzibur. The chatas of a tzibur. It's not a yachid. Oh. So when you have a chatas, you cannot use the chatas itself and put it on the mizbeach as oil. You can't transfer it from a chatas to oil. Now, in fact, here. In fact, you could. Halachically, you could. Not halachically. D'oraisa, you could. Chacham made a gzeri that you shouldn't. Why? A carbon tamid rabboisai is an oila. So what am I trying to do? I'm trying to take it from an oila to an oila. Okay, so it's a tamid oila. It was supposed to be brought in the morning as a tamid, in the afternoon as a tamid, and now you're taking it as ketzam mizbeach, putting it as dessert, which is also an oila. Nothing really happened there. By the chatos, the mikor chatos, vash the oila. But if you want to transfer from one type of carbon to the other, which midaraisi you could, we don't allow it. Think about it. What if my chatas ran away, so I designated another chatas, but I live in Tzvat, and all I have is a donkey, and it's going to take me 2 weeks to get from Tzvat to Yerushalayim, so I didn't do it yet. I'm a busy man. I'm going to push it off a little bit, maybe to Yantiv. And all of a sudden, my first chatas comes back home. Shalom Aleichem. Now what do? I remember that last year the same thing happened, and they took the chatas and they put it on top of the mizbeach. So I'm like, okay, let's do that also. No, you can't do that. The only time you can put it on top of the mizbeach is if I already shechted the second chatas, and the first chatas is useless. I already got a kapara. But what if I have two chatais now in front of me? I can't put one of them on the mizbeach. I can't use ketzam mizbeach. So in Mela I made a gzeira. People are not going to chop the difference. Oh, this is before you brought a kapara. After, you know what? Chatas never goes on top of the mizbeach, ever. Whether you made the kapara, you didn't make the kapara, loiplog. You're right. Midaraisa, you're allowed to take it and put it on the mizbeach. But Chacham made a gzeira. Omer Abai. Oh. So this is the line that we have to remember, and this line goes all the way to the end of the Amud. That what? You could bring a chatas midiraisa onto the mizbech when there's a lull time, it's downtime. But Chacham said no. Why? You might get confused between a time. Again, what happened? You have a chatas, you made it a chatas. You couldn't bring it because it ran away, so you brought a second one. You brought Ruvain, and now because Ruvain ran away, chatas Ruvain ran away. Chatas Shimon is going to be on the mizbech. First time I ever did this, but maybe it's going to work. Shimon is on the mizbech. He shechted Shimon. Now all of a sudden, Reuven shows up. Shalom Aleichem.
Finally.
What? Finally.
He's the one that dies.
Yeah. He waited until you killed the friend, and now he thinks he's going to get out of it. So halachically, midaraz, you can take Reuven and put him on the mizbech. But if we never shechted Shimon, then of course you have to use Reuven. Reuven is the original one.
You designated the other one now.
Too bad. You designated him wrongly. I have the original. So that's why, in that case, you don't put any of them you don't put it on the mizbeach. So because people get confused whether you put Shimon on the mizbeach, you didn't put Shimon on the mizbeach. Never. You can never put Shimon on the mizbeach or Reuven on the mizbeach. You can never put Reuven, the guy that you found later. You can never put him on the mizbeach. So I see it in 3 different places, 3 rayos. Omar Abaya, Afanan and Tanina, and they're all easy. Basically, we had them and simple stuff. Omar Abaya, Afanan and Tanina, we also learned, mamish like you're saying. Par v'sor Yom Kippur, which we had yesterday. You have the bull and the goat, which you shech Yom Kippur, and you take the blood and you mix it, and you sprinkle that mixture. You sprinkle it on the kapiras and everything. Sha'avdu, they ran away. And he designated 2 new ones. If you look on Amud Beis, Daf Yomi Amud Beis, you'll see those are the first words there. So we had this exact thing. That let's say Sanhedrin said you're allowed to bow down to your Rosh Hashiva. Yeah, you're allowed, and they made a mistake. It's mamash avodah zarah. So now you have to bring a sar. They made a mistake. Sanhedrin made a mistake. So you bring a sar to be mechaper on that avera, and it ran away. The sar ran away. Sar aved the zara. Shavdu. And you brought a shimon instead. Kulan yamusu. You got to kill them all. Duvie Rabbi Yehuda. These are chatos. Yeah, it's a chatos. Chatos that you mafresh another one. It's mamish like a yachid here. When it happens to a yachid, number 4, chatos sheniskaper bolel. You had a kapar ready from another chatos. You got to kill the original. Reuben has to die. Kula yamusu Duvie Rabbi Yehuda. Rebbe Lazar Rebbe Shimon Oimrim yiru achi yistavu. No, you let it graze like that picture, Yoshi's picture. Let's just show it again. Why not? It's kishmak stuff. You let them graze until they get a mum. V'yimachru, and then you sell it. V'yiplu d'meim l'nedava. You do this, and you take the money. And what's nedava, Rabbi Isai? No, that's good. But what does it mean over here? Nedava. It's not a razor because this is a public. This is a community. Nedava means kates. Kates on mizbeach. You put it together in the pen that for the downtime. Why? Because the chatas of the community doesn't have to die. This halacha of the 5 that died, that's for a yachid, not for the tzibur. That's the Gemara. What's the problem? Take this thing and put it on the mizbeach as a oila. That's exactly what the Gemara said before. You could, but we have Xeris Chachamim. I also, Abai has a raya, now me, Rav, I also have a raya. When you have the 2 goats on Yom Kippur, the famous goats, one is a goyrel, you make a raffle, and the other one you throw off a cliff. As the Mishnah told us, a tremendous thing that, and we're going to see it even today, that goat that flies off the cliff is mechaper for everything. Kares, misas bezdin, kal, chomer, loisas asay, everything. That it gives us a major kapara. Yom Kippur is mechaper. What happens when one of them dies? The halacha is that this is a pair. They're inseparable. If one dies and you cannot continue the avodah, so now you have to bring another 2. But what do you do with the guy that's still alive? Now you have 3. What are you going to do? Which one exactly has to go into that, onto the skateboard rink over there? But one of them has to die. Has to be mistav. He has to go get a mum. And what's the Gemara's question? Why? Take him, put him on. Why should he go get a mum? Put him on the mizbeach as a oila. Same gzer. I also have a right. Asham of a yachid is very similar to a chatos. Some averis you have to bring asham. And the owner died. Not that this is it, because this is a chatos, but this is number 3 and 4 on this list. So if it was a chatos, the chatas must die. What do you do when you have an ashram in the same situation? They ran away, you brought another one, and it got a kapara, or the owner died. Yireachi yistav. What do you do, Rabbi Isai? You let it befall him on, the money goes to what? Keitzam Mizbeach. Rabbi Lezoimer Yomos. No, it's mamish like a chatos. How do I know it's like a chatos? Because it says in the pasuk, says Rabbi Lezoimer, look at this pasuk. Ka chatos, ka asham. They're the same. So if it has to die when it's a chatas, it dies when it's a asham. Rabbi Shua Omer, Yovi b'dam avayla. What do you do, Rabbi Isai? You take the money and you do what? Huh? What do you do with it? But what do you do with the money? There is. Yeah.
Private person, he has to bring a shlomo after that.
No. What do you do with this animal? No, it's not. No.
It's extra.
It's extra.
The private person, it's not a...
No. This is the extra. This is the sheni. This is on Yom Kippur, the girl, the girl and the thing, yeah? No, Asham, you're right. No, it is a yachid. 100%. Asham is a yachid. You're right. No, we're in the... So, it doesn't matter. Yiplun Nadava. Look what he says. Which is the same exact thing, l'chayra, as the Tanakama. The first one says, Yira achi stov. You wait until it befalls the mum, you take the money and you give it in a dava. And what does Rabbi Yisrael say? Yavi b'dama vayla. You should take it and the kesem is back. Bring the oil with it. So what's the difference? So, hold on. Okay, I don't want to lose my train of thought here. Remind me, I have to show you something. Not this. Where was that Rashi? Here. So what's the difference between the two? Ella, he says beautiful, says Rashi. That the Tanakhama is talking about that it's a oilas tzibur. And Rabbi Shua says that it's a oilas yochid. And what's the difference? Says Rashi, there's three differences. Difference number one is the idea of smicha. So this, I told Yoshi to redo this. Look what he did, beautiful. This is the old picture that we used to use from Klal Yisroel. And look at the new one. New and improved, check this out. He puts his body weight on it. For some reason, AI lifted his leg. We don't know why, but his whole body weight is on it. And also, you do the sachim, you pour the wine. And also, if you're a yachid, you're allowed to shech the animal. You're Yisroel, you're allowed to shech it. Not if it's a tzibur. So that's the difference between the two. It seems like the same, it's not the same. But I need to show you. But according to Rabbi Eliezer, what do you do?
Also the iris.
And it's yours.
He gets to decide who it goes to.
Okay.
Coming from the
Also
tzibur.
the iris.
Okay. So add it to Rashi.
Rashi said
Rabbi Eliezer, here it is. Oh, okay, good. This is according to Rabbi Eliezer that it
Excuse
dies.
me.
I know exactly what you need. Your father died, and this is an asham shemesu ba'alav that need to develop a mum, right?
Yes? How did you know?
20 years in the business. I know the deal. But I actually hold like Rabbi Eliezer that the halacha is that it should die.
Two mistakes. First, killing it directly is forbidden. And second,
Oh no!
Tanam Yochi. Haguf Oila. Oh. As the Gemara of the Kar of Haguf Oila. Why do you have to Yirachi stuff according to two shitas? You let it befall a mum. This, it's a tzibur, it's a yachid, but the bottom line is just put it on the mizbech directly. Why do you have to let it get a mum? So we see a third raya that midaraisa it's mutter to take a chatos or asham and put it on the mizbech itself. Just the problem is we're concerned that people might make a mistake, so therefore we say no chatos on the mizbech directly, sell it, and the money will go on the mizbech. What does Reb Shimon say? Reb Shimon says that if you have a tamid, you don't shecht it, you don't redeem it. What do? You put it on Ketz HaMizbech. You don't redeem it, you just put it as oila. We see a similar thing. What do you bring when you have left over? You bring it as a dessert for the mizbeach. Here's here, B'nai Shuach, stand real quickly, so it's not.
I always look forward to maturing the sweetest white fig in my collection.
They're very sweet and they're white. It's a dessert. Shamani, he calls it. It's a white fig. I'm not so into figs. Is Doilim into figs? I never got into it. I was never into dates, and now I'm into dates. The kids are, you get the idea. Oh, it's mamish, beauty.
Well,
it's a problem with the worms today. Okay, fine. So that's B'nai Shuach. Believe it or not, if I told you this, you're not going to believe it. I could when I saw it, I could. Some Rishonim hold that B'nai Shuach are bananas. I didn't know that there was bananas back then. Okay, I thought it's something new. So it says over here like this: you take the banana or this fig and you put it on the mizbech. It seems like that's the Gemara. How can you do that? You're not allowed to put any honey, and honey includes all fruits that are very sweet, that have sugar. Now, everybody remembers the famous pasuk. It says in the pasuk, so hold on, before I show you this, let me get that off for a second. If we mention it, we have to say the halacha. What bracha do you make first? If you have grapes in front of you or you have dates in front of you, what bracha do you make first?
Whatever you prefer.
What is early in the pasuk? Grape, correct. So the halacha is, when we learned the brachas, this is beautiful, that although grapes is first in the pasuk, but it's number 3 in the pasuk. And dates are number 2 in the second aretz. It starts all over again by Eretz. So therefore, olives are number 1 in the second part of the pasuk, and dates are number 2 in the second part of the pasuk. 2 always comes before 3, 4, and 5. 1 comes before 2, 3, and 4. So an olive comes before barley, grapes, dates, and pomegranates. Okay, just a halacha. But this, so in this pasuk, dvash means dates. In that pasuk, Shema, where did you come from? You were here the whole year? This is the Guven? Shema, where are you from? So there's Kiryas Yoel and there's Kiryas Sefer. Yivaldik. Which one? You're the one, the one, Vard on every daf. Vard called daf. You stick a lawyer?
Yeah.
You look like a lawyer. No, I'm just kidding. No, we're not repeating. He said Shoshana. No. I'm kidding. You look like a geschmacky guy. Okay. So it says like, stop. 1 minute. I just want to say one very interesting halacha. The Bahag says that when you eat the honey of a date, which they call today silan, right? You have to make a boire priyaitz. That's what he says. And they argue on him, so we don't pass him like him. We pass him, you don't. But it's enough kimina that if you did by mistake, you heard the shir and that's all you heard, and then you went home and you started made a eitz on it. So Savik brachas lahakel, because he holds that it's a eitz, so you yell to the bracha anyway. Sponsor, okay, sponsor. Oh, so it's a question here. How can you put it on the mizbeach? The answer is you don't put the banana on the mizbeach. It's like dessert. Like you go to a fancy restaurant, you get a dessert. So once in a while, you put a fancy dessert on the mizbeach. What's the dessert? An animal, not a banana. Turning to the daf, Innovations LLC, in honor of our sons Kalman Yisroel for learning Sanhedrin Makis Shevuos with Rebelli, Adar Global, experts in international financial services, anonymous, in honor of the tzaddik, whose name we cannot say, who shows us what it means to be a giver and a tzaddik, Dark Svardi. Yikar Shema Yisrael Dark Svardi until he goes back to his Hebrew name. No more Mark. Mazin Mark. You try to call him in his Hebrew name, Sinish good, brings him back. It gives trauma, mamish trauma. I heard Esther over there somewhere. Omarova. Oh, sorry. Dorish Rav Nachman. Okay, so we have -1 minute to do this whole Amud. Dorish Rav Nachman bar Rav Yitzchok. What did I say? Dorish Rav Nachman bar Rav Chizda. You have all this money, or you have these karbanas, you have birds, you have a downtime on the mizbeach. Don't put a pigeon on the mizbeach. We're talking about be serious, lamb chops. Omerava, burcha. You just made it up. It's a boich svar what you say. Omer Rav Nachman bar Yitzchok. The Rava, my burcha. What are you talking about? I made it up. Anan Ritan Ale. He made it up. He didn't make it up. I told it to him. When we shmei the Rav Shimi ben Arda Ritan Ale, and I got it from Rav Shimi ben Arda. What happens to all the kates on his back? What does it go? It goes for the oila for the community, not for an individual. But a bird never comes for the community because it says in the pasuk, it's an individual, not karbanam. Yeah. Who did that? He did it, Dave, or it was from outside? It's from outside. Kishim Hashem. We never heard a bird here in the middle of Shir. It's mamish like Chaim Kanievsky. For all the new guys, I got to tell you, for all the new guys. So Chaim Kanievsky was learning once, and a grasshopper showed up. He's learning the sugi. Grasshopper showed up. So somebody made fun of this.
He didn't believe the story.
Somebody said, "I don't believe the story," and he went home, and there was like thousands of grasshoppers in his house. So somebody said. So Reb Zilberstein wrote this story, and somebody said that, Reb Zilberstein, he has Meises Shekimatayu. And the guy came home, and he found 500 Aleim L'Shabechs in his dining room. You never heard that one? So it's Kedai. Okay.
He heard it, he wrote it.
You know what happened after?
Okay, I don't know, but I know that Shachar started 3 minutes ago.
The guy moved, and his wife was nervous about moving, because once a year,
Erev Shabbos, the grasshopper would come to their house every Erev Shabbos. So they were nervous if they move, what's going to happen? The grasshopper's not going to come anymore. But they moved and the grasshopper still came every Erev Shabbos. True story.
Okay, fine. So going back to the same thing, Rabbi Yochanan said that the Reb Shimon holds that what you cannot redeem a tamid when you don't know what to do with it. Rabbi Yochanan, he also agrees to this. The Amar Rabbi Yehuda Amar Shmuel, Karban is Tibur Sakim Mishachtam L'Mashahein. When you do a shchita, when you cut its neck, then you decide what it is. You took this animal as a carbon tamid, then you decided to flip it to a regular oila. It works. The shchita does it. Yeah? Let me just go back to here for a second. You have these three seirim. They're interchangeable. If you don't use it on Yontif, use it on Rish Chodesh. If you don't use it on Rish Chodesh, use it on Yom Kippur. Then use it on Sukkot. If you don't use it on Sukkot, then use it on Pesach. They all come to for the Mizbeach HaChitzon to be mechaper for these things of Tumas Mikdash Kedosh. We saw in the Mishnah that this carbon, this chitzon, does everybody remember what is the chitzon come to be mechaper? The chitzon. No. The plimi. Sorry, the plimi. Yeah. Did I say chitzon? Yes. Sorry, the plimi. What does the plimi do? When it doesn't, when you don't have an awareness at the end, you'll never know for the rest of your life. What else does it come to be mechaper? Zodain. So Zodain tumas migdash kedosh or sorry nazibifnim. If a person deliberately goes into the Beis Hamikdash knowing that he's tamei, he deliberately eats a piece of kachim, a carbon, knowing that he's tamei. He doesn't care. He so much wants to go to the Beis Hamikdash, like. Okay, I'm not even going to give the mashal. A person really wants to go. He knows it's awesome for him to go to a certain to caver. He knows he's not allowed to go, but he has such a cheshik to go, and he goes anyway. Yeah. So he has to get a kapara. Minan Emili, the Tanur Rabbanan. How do I know? Now Taisus asks a bam kasha that everybody should ask on the Mishnah. If we learned mefurish that it says the word achas, achas means what? This panimi only comes to forgive for one thing. How could it forgive for two things? Says Taisus, it could only forgive for one thing, one carbon thing. In other words, this pnimi cannot forgive for something that Rosh Chodesh does. The carbon of Rosh Chodesh. The carbon of Rosh Chodesh, let's say, comes to be a tar, she'achal tamei. Yom Kippur doesn't have the ability to do what another carbon does. But over here, there's no other carbon that takes care of a mezid. So it could take care of two things. Look what it says in the pasuk. Pshia is what? I'm pesheya. I'm amazing. Chatoisam is a shagig. So in the pasuk it says both. It's amazing. The king of Moav he rebelled against me. He did it on purpose. Pashabi. And it says, but chatos is by mistake. So this carbon takes care of everything. Real quickly, because I know we're running out of time, the Rebbeinu B'chai says from this pasuk you see that because Baruch loves Klal Yisroel even when they're in Tumah. Because it says at the end of the pasuk, because I'm not going to go into the whole thing. The Abderuv, what? Right. The Tzarech Tumasim, exactly. The Tzarech Tumasim. Kids said after Ruv, he had an option to go to two Gvirim. One was not so medaktiv mitzvahs, but one was very medaktiv mitzvahs, but he's Balgaiva. He says, I'm going to the one that's not medaktiv mitzvahs because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Shoichen Itam Tzarech Tumasam. But a Balgaiva, he's not. He has nothing to do. He's not. Ena nivud dar bekipa achas. Okay. Zog the Gemara. It says that the one you push off the cliff, the Sarla Zazel is mechaper for everything. But the Gemara says the lashon is a little hard because it's double lashon. Hainu kalas, hainu asay. When the Mishnah says the easy ones, doesn't it mean referred to an asay? V'lois asay. Chamur is when it says the heavy ones. Hainu krisus, Mrs. Bezin, it refers to the heavy one. Hoida, he knew about it. Hainu mezit. Loi hoida, hainu shaygig. We'll change it around a little bit. Everything else besides Tuma, other Averis, Lashon Hara, Gezel, whatever it is, Ben Kalas Ben Chamurais, which Ben Shasam B'Shagi Ben Shasam B'Mezid. Whether it was a Chaticha Achas, you don't know if you ate a piece of chaylev or a piece of fat, a mutter and aser. Ben Shasam B'Mezid. Oisen Shasam B'Shagi Ben Oida Lo Yisfeikon Ben Lo Yisfeikon. Whether you were aware of it or not. Ben Al Kalos. And this is the easy ones. Asay V'Lo Yisasay. In other words, you don't know if you did it or not. Ve'elu and Chamurais. And what are the ones that are very severe? Krisus and Mrs. Bezdin. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at mdydaf.com.